Have you ever wondered why there are so many questions surrounding the life and career of Dorothy Lamour, especially why she was known as the Sarong Girl? If you have been dying to find out, you're in luck. Today's video is all about unraveling the mystery behind Dorothy Lamour and answering all of the questions surrounding her life and career. If you are not subscribed to this channel, now would be a good time to hit the subscribe button and join our community. Without further ado, let's get started. Early life. Leigh Dorothy Slayton was born in New Orleans on December 10, 1914, to John Watson Slayton and Carmen Louise, both of whom were waiters. Her parents were of English, French, and distant Irish descent, which explains her beauty. It seemed like she combined their finest qualities and came out as a masterpiece. Her parents' marriage did not last long, however, as they split up soon after she was born, and she got to stay with her mother. Dorothy's mother married for the second time a few years later to Clarence Lamour, whose last name Dorothy adopted and modified as her stage name. This marriage didn't last so long either, and by the time she was a teenager, her mother was going through her second divorce. Dorothy's mother ended up raising her alone. As a teenager, she was quite rebellious and dropped out of high school after forging her mother's name and signature on a permission slip to drop out. That's pretty hardcore for a 14-year-old. She later enrolled at a business school where she became an excellent typist. Even at the peak of her career, as wealthy and busy as she was, she still typed her letters herself. She started contesting in beauty pageants, and at the age of 17, she was crowned Miss New Orleans and got the opportunity to contest in Galveston's pageant of pulchritude. She didn't win though, but getting to the contest alone was a huge deal. She used the prize money from these contests to support her and her mother while she worked in a stock theater company. She moved with her mother to Chicago to pursue the music career she had always wanted and spent a lot of time wandering from audition to audition. She found a job working as an elevator operator at Marshall Field's department store, and the shop owner was very supportive of her pursuits, allowing her to run off every now and then for an audition. She was discovered by Herbie Kay, an orchestra leader who spotted her performing at the Chicago Talent Show that was held at the Hotel Morrison. She was invited for an audition the next day, and Kay hired her almost immediately to sing for his orchestra. A year after, she accompanied Kay and his orchestra on a tour. Her work at the orchestra opened more doors for her, giving her opportunities to work with radio stations and vaudevilles. She had a short, successful run in radio, where she had her own 15-minute weekly program on NBC Radio and starred in an episode of Silver Theater on CBS Radio. Career. She left the radio for Hollywood in 1936 and signed for Paramount Pictures after a screen test. Her debut was in the American comedy film College Holiday, directed by Frank Tuttle in 1936, where she played the undercredited role of a dancer. Her striking beauty was worthy of remembrance, and when she appeared in The Jungle Princess alongside Ray Milland in the same year, her status as a star was established. In the movie, she played the role of Ula, a jungle native who always wore a sarong designed by the American costume designer Edith Head throughout the movie. That is the origin of the nickname Sarong Girl, and she continued to wear the sarong in several other movies. After the movie, she recorded the hit song Moonlight and Shadows. She found the perfect way to mix a minor music career and a major movie career so harmoniously. She was always dropping hit songs from time to time. Some of these include The Moon of Manacora, I Remember You, It Could Happen to You, and many more. She also sang in most movies she featured in. During World War II, she participated in volunteer projects, which involved her working at the Hollywood Canteen, where she got to dance and talk to the soldiers. She also sold war bonds during tours, which was quite a thing among movie stars at the time, who would travel the country to sell U.S. government bonds to the public to raise money to finance military operations. She earned the name the Bond Bombshell after she allegedly sold $300 million worth of bonds. She later received a citation in 1965 from the U.S. Department of the Treasury for her work during World War II. She continued appearing in several other movies, but as she got older, the frequency reduced, and so did her performance. But she still remained one of the finest actresses of her time. Her last film was Creepshow 2 in 1987, where she played the role of a housewife who was murdered. She continued to appear in television shows, however. Her career lasted for 55 years, during which she starred in over 50 films. For her contribution in the music and film industry, she had 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one of the few people to have 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Personal life. Lamour was married 2 times, first to Herbie Kay, who had first employed her in his orchestra. Their marriage lasted only about 4 years, and they had no children together. She also had a romantic relationship with J. Edgar Hoover, who was the director of the FBI at the time. It was reported that they both spent a night together at a hotel in Washington, D.C. Although she doesn't deny having any relations with him, she described Hoover as a lifelong friend in her autobiography, My Side of the Road, published in 1980. She wasn't known to have any more relationships after this. In April 1943, she got married to William Ross Howard III, an Air Force captain and advertising executive in the posh and luxurious Beverly Hills community. They had 2 sons named John Ridgely and Richard Thompson Howard, who is 3 years younger than John. In the 1960s, they moved to the Baltimore suburb of Sudbrook Park, where they lived until Howard's death in 1978. Lamour also owned a home in Palm Springs, California. Lamour was a lover of politics and was a staunch supporter of the Republicans. She supported the presidency of Ronald Reagan and was also instrumental in his re-election in 1984. Death. Lamour passed away in her North Hollywood home on September 22, 1996, at the age of 81. She died from a heart attack, and at the time of her death, she was worth about $300 million, earning over $27,000 daily. We hope we have been able to answer all the questions you might have about Dorothy Lamour. In that case, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section, and we will make sure each one is answered. Check out our other videos and stick around for some more. See you next time.